Yet another weekend and we're back with your weekend special of corporate and startup world updates. You're watching Companynama and I am Shrestha Tiwari. First up, over to the corporate world. Piramal Capital and Housing Finance Limited has withdrawn the insolvency proceedings against Reliance Power Limited. Piramal Capital and Housing Finance Limited has withdrawn the application made against Reliance Power under the Section 7 of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, a BSE filing has stated. This follows an out-of-the-court settlement between both the parties over a 526 crore rupees loan default by Reliance Power and its subsidiary Reliance Natural Resources Limited. Talking about Piramal, India Resurgence Fund, India RF, an India-focused investment platform promoted by the Piramal Enterprises and global private equity major Bain Capital on 14th of November announced an investment of 550 crore rupees in social brands Impresario Entertainment and Hospitality. Following the transaction, India RF has become the majority shareholder of Impresario. The fresh capital will help fuel the further expansion of Impresario's business. Impresario owns and manages brands like Social, Mocha and Smokehouse Delhi at more than 60 locations in 17 cities of India. The number of airlines operating in India is set to reduce, with Tata Sons, owners of Air India, expected to announce within a week that Vistara will be merged into the Air India brand in 12 months. According to the Economic Times report, Air India has reached an agreement with Singapore Airlines, their Vistara joint venture partner, whose stake in Vistara will drop from 49% to between 20 to 25%, with a concurrent drop in board representation as well. While Tatas may own 75% in AI Vistara from its current majority stake of 51%. Vistara will then likely be merged into Air India. This follows the recent news that Air Asia India too would be integrated into the Tata-owned Air India Express. According to reports by New York Times earlier this week, after Meta and Twitter, Amazon, which was planning to lay off as many as 10,000 of its employees starting this week, has now been confirmed. In a recent notification by Amazon, the company has finally confirmed slashing its workforce due to unusual and uncertain macroeconomic environments. According to several media reports, the job cuts in India may be higher than the layoffs by other giants like Facebook, although Amazon made a voluntary separation offer to some of its Indian employees on 16th of November, according to a company memo. Globally, these job cuts will target the devices group, including the one responsible for the Alexa voice assistant, along with the retail division and human resources. Now, if the total number of layoffs stays around 10,000, it would be the biggest layoff in the Amazon history. IT companies Larsen & Toubro Infotech and Mindtree on 14th of November have announced that their merger has come into effect following approval from regulators and shareholders. The merger makes LTI Mindtree now the fifth largest IT services company in India in terms of the current market capitalization. As part of the merger, 73 shares of LTI will be granted to each shareholder of Mindtree for every 100 shares of Mindtree. L&T, the merging entity's parent company, will own 68.73% of it. According to a BSE filing, November 24th has been set as the record date to identify Mindtree shareholders who are qualified to receive equity shares of LTI. Vedanta Group on Tuesday have confirmed that they are prioritizing the expansion of the Electro Steels Limited amid rumors that the Anil Agarwal-led company is exiting from the steel business. The priority is that of the expansion of the company from 1.5 million tons to 3 million tons. The mining giant had plans to sell off Electro Steel to focus on its core mining and industrial business, as per what the Economic Times had reported earlier on 15th of November. The report had stated that the company seeks to deleverage the balance sheet, which had a debt of $11.7 billion at March end. On 15th of November, Vedanta Group CEO Sunil Duggal confirmed at an event that exiting Electro Steel is not a topic for Vedanta currently, and instead expansion of it is. Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani has entered the race to bid for world-renowned English football club Liverpool FC's takeover, reported on English Daily, which is the English Premier League giants have been put up for sale by their current owners, Fenway Sports Group, for 4 billion British pounds and have reportedly appointed Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley to assist them in the selling off process. The English Daily reported that Mukesh Ambani had inquired about the club. Over to the segment with the big controversies and disputes around major corporates. Let's find out which were those companies that were on the radar this week. The CBI on Wednesday booked Rotomac Global and its directors in connection with a cheating case of 750.5 crore rupees linked to Indian Overseas Bank. CBI has booked the company and its directors Sadhna Kothari and Rahul Kothari under IPC and the Prevention of Corruption Act. As per CBI, Rotomac has a total outstanding of over 2,900 crores against a consortium of 7 banks led by Bank of India, in which IOB has an exposure of around 23% and has been booked for allegedly defrauding the Indian Overseas Bank through misrepresentation and causing monetary loss of 750.54 crore rupees to the bank. Back in September 2, the agency had booked the Kanpur-based firm in 100 crore rupees alleged fraud committed on PNB Bank. Wadia Group promoted Go First airline has come under the scanner of aviation regulator DGCA on account of a surge in passenger inconvenience due to non-existent flights and massive flight delays. About 69% of Go First flights were delayed between 10th to 12th November as the airline has been forced to increase utilization of its operational aircraft, with more than 40% of its fleet grounded due to engine supply issues. Saddled with the ongoing supply chain disruption, the airline has already curtailed the winter schedule, which came into effect from October 30th until March 25th. The US government has fined Air India with $1.4 million for extreme delays in refunding passengers, refund of around $121.5 million for flights cancelled or changed significantly. US Transportation Secretary Pete has announced action against the Indian flag carrier and 5 other airlines on November 14th. The US Department of Transportation has said that the 6 airlines together were made to return nearly $500 million to affected passengers, and it collected fines totaling about $7.25 million. Well, those were all the big corporate world updates this week, talking about startups where it looks like it's a layoff storm out there, and it has been continuing for over a week now. Let's find out what's boiling down in the startup world. Now, while several tech giants have been laying off in huge numbers of late, Dream11 CEO Harsh Jain took to Twitter inviting applicants who have been recently laid off in the US, especially those with visa issues. He added that his company is looking for talented individuals in various niches, including design, product and tech. With Twitter and Meta have laying off their employees last week, Harsh Jain's tweet was made on November 7th, and since then it has received more than 700 likes and several retweets from Twitterati. Digital solution provider for diabetic patients BeatO on November 16 said it has raised around 269 crore rupees in Series B funding led by Lightrock India, with participation from Health Quad and Flipkart and existing investors. The fresh funds will be utilized to expand BeatO's diabetes care programs pan-India, invest in strengthening the leadership team, and to further invest in its product and technology. And early stage venture capital fund Piticap on Wednesday has said that it has led $9 million Series A funding round in Noida-based electric mobility brand Corrit Electric. Corrit offers sustainable mobility solutions and is presently selling 3 electric bikes under the range named Hover. Corrit will use these funds to actualize its vision to build 1.5 lakh electric bikes in the next 3 years, and it aims to introduce a new array of EVs that are affordable and require less maintenance. Alright, that was all on this weekend edition of Companynama, but we'll be back with more next weekend. And before that, catch all the latest from the fintech world every fortnight on our special show, Phenomenally, which is one of Money9 app exclusive shows. So go ahead and download the app to grab Phenomenally and much more premium personal finance content both on your Google Play Store and App Store. Meanwhile, stay tuned to Money9.